Our first inductee this evening is Ron Gustafson. As a child, Ron would be seen building amusement rides out of Tinker Toys after having been exposed to his very first park, Midway Amusement Park in Maple Springs, New York. His journalism career started when offered an internship writing about the amusement industry at the Jamestown Post-Journal. He would work nights as a sports writer and received his first award while still a teenager and attending college, the Associated Press's First Place Sports Writing Award, for a feature he did on skydiving. Yes, Ron jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. Graduating to become the assistant sports editor, Ron met and married his high school sweetheart, Nancy. Ron and Nancy performed as an entertainment duo in the early years of their marriage, starting together in a high school rock band with a half dozen of their school friends. Ron had the opportunity to promote one of the largest volunteer firefighters carnival in the country, the Chautauqua County Volunteer Firemen's Gala Days in Stockton. It was here Ron started to make friends and create a network of professionals in the outdoor amusement industry, including entertainers, artists, concessionaires, show owners, and independent operators. He was fascinated how all these pieces of a puzzle could come together to create a family entertainment experience. While still holding a full-time editor position at the Dunkirk Evening Observer, Ron officially entered the amusement industry in 1980 by being named marketing manager for Corky Powers and his newly formed Amusements of Rochester, now known as Powers Great American Midways. Ron and Nancy even owned and operated rides as a concessionaire during this time, while still focusing on his writing and the documentation and sharing of knowledge from the history of our industry. Ron would be winning awards such as Best News Coverage from United Press International on a devastating tornado that ripped through the county, while focusing his talents also on creating a full comprehensive history of the Allen Herschel Ride Manufacturing Company. In the early 1990s, Ron officially left the newspaper industry to focus his full-time efforts as the marketing director and ride superintendent of Midway Amusement Park. As part of his park position, he began writing for IAAPA's Fun World magazine on various industry subjects. His creation of educational programs and the production of special events led his Magic in the Sky Millennium Laser Show to receive both the 1999 IAAPA Best Promotion of the Year Award and an IAAPA Brass Ring Award for Best Radio Commercial promoting the production. Ron always made sure there was an official recipient to his promotions, working largely with the Salvation Army and the Special Olympics. With a resume now reflecting being named Outstanding Tourism Employee of the Year by the New York State Hospitality and Tourism Association, an additional Associated Press Award for a business feature on the rescue of America's oldest amusement park, Lake Compounce, a published author, a brief managing editor position in North Carolina, and successfully releasing 2 albums with his Christian rock trio that still play on Christian music stations as recent as 2021, Ron walked into Quasi Amusement Park on Labor Day 2002 to begin his tenure as the family-owned company's first full-time marketing and public relations director. Ron was brought in originally so the park's owners could promote the installation of their 2003 attraction, the Saturation Station. This attraction was the first phase of Quasi becoming both an amusement park and a water park. Ron is asked what his greatest memory, his greatest accomplishment, or what he can look back on the most fondly. He will say, watching Quasi transition into what it is today. While he credits the installation of the Wooden Warrior roller coaster in 2011 as putting Quasi on the international map, his mantra was that no addition was too small for the limelight. For each attraction, Ron would develop a wildly involved advertising campaign, many of which received industry awards. In his position, he was able to bring many of his creative successes to life at Quasi, including a 3D fireworks and laser show to benefit Give Kids the World Village, and again receiving a Best Promotion of the Year award from IAAPA. Ron recalls how John and George Francis and Eric Anderson, the owners of Quasi Amusement and Water Park, welcomed and treated himself and Nancy like family from day one. Working with them was an incredible journey. Who else can say they actually lived inside of an amusement park? Ron and Nancy occupied an apartment above the arcade with his office located right down the hall. Through his park connections, Ron began working with NEAAPA as the editor of its hard copy newsletter for more than a decade. He has served on IAAPA's Marketing Committee, Small Parks and Attractions Committee, as well as served as the chair of their International Hall of Fame Committee. Ron has spoken at many industry workshops, expo educational sessions, and other industry meetings, associations, and ceremonies. As if Ron was looking for projects to keep himself busy, he co-authored his third book, Holiday World and Splash and Safari: 75 Years of America's First Theme Park, published in May of 2022. Don't worry, Ron wants everyone to be aware that both George and Eric gave their blessings and supported this project, allowing him to burn the midnight oil and get it done as Quasi always came first. With Ron retiring from his position at the park in October 2022, he is still wondering what retirement will look like, as he doesn't seem to be slowing down one bit. Ron is still writing about the amusement industry and continues to consult for friends in the business on rides, attractions, events, and educational programming. According to Eric Anderson, the park's president, Ron was so much more than a marketing director. He was a resource for all aspects of the amusement park world. Ron will be missed. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand as the New England Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions is honored to induct Ron Gustafson into the NEAAPA Hall of Fame.